let's talk about FUE. We do not use a robot. Robots are a mechanical device that use a sharp punch rotary technology. We use the state-of-the-art, the newest advancement in the FUE system. It's an oscillating motion with a hybrid punch. So essentially the sharp edge is external, while the internal edge, which is what encounters the hair follicle, is all smooth. So we're able to harvest the hairs with the lowest rate of extraction. Typically we're getting under 3% percentage of extraction, which means 97% of the hairs are destined to grow, which is exceedingly high. We will map out where the grafts are best harvested. For example, and these are things which the robot can't think, lower down in the back of the head, those hairs are ideal for using single hair grafts along the hairline and some finer 2-hair grafts, while higher up, those hairs tend to be a bit thicker. Also, we take different hairs for different areas. So for example, the back of the head tends to be darker hairs. For when we're doing, for example, certain areas, we want darker hairs, particularly in the beard. The goatee area is usually a little darker, while the sides are going to be hairs taken from the side. Well, that's a similar concept even when we're doing hairline restorations. Let's talk about the actual procedure. Is it painful? Is it, do I have anything to be worried about? The answer is really no. Just about every one of my patients sitting there on the morning of surgery, they're nervous. And I tell every single patient the same thing. You have nothing to worry about. It's going to be a very smooth, easy procedure. And literally 95% of them within an hour into the procedure said they can't believe how easy it was. And the other 5% wait till the end of the day. So how are we able to make this procedure truly painless? Well, number one, I have a wonderful team of assistants, nurse practitioners, anesthetists. If for any time a patient wants twilight sedation, most patients prefer oral sedation. We now use Pronox, which is nitrous oxide, during the time of the anesthetic injection. It really makes it quite easy for patients to largely zone out, sleep. So the procedure proceeds where once we've designed the hairline, I've taken photos, marked out everything, and I've marked out the donor area. We then will go ahead and harvest the hairs for the first anywhere from an hour and a half to as long as 3.5 hours, where we harvest the hairs from the back of the head. Patient then gets flipped over, then these grafts start getting planted. Classically, most doctors do FUE by shaving the entire head. I have never shaved the recipient area for any hair transplant procedure unless a patient wants me to, but essentially I'm able to leave the existing hairs long as they are to help permit the covering up of these tiny crusts for the first 7 or 8 days until they fall out, or 6 or 7 days. But then let's talk about how the donor area is handled. So as I said, most doctors shave. It's called a shave FUE. We offer shave FUE, and I'd probably say 50% of my patients get a shave FUE. We shave the back and sides. It does make it a bit easier and a little bit shorter time process to harvest the hairs. But then we offer 2 other options, actually 3 other options. One is called a partial shave. Partial shave, when patients looking at you, for example, patients on a webcam or on their iPhone, they will look totally normal because the only thing we're going to shave is the lower back of their hair. Either if a patient has long hair that it can cover over, it looks sort of like they gave themselves a little bit of a radical fade, or if they have short hair, it'll just blend in. So the only area we shave is the back, and then the rest of the hairs are harvested using a no-shave approach throughout the rest of the scalp. Let's talk about a no-shave. Essentially, it means just what it says. We don't shave any hairs. The only hairs that get trimmed are the hairs that we are harvesting. We find the follicular unit we like, we trim it, and then it's removed. It's a more time-consuming process. While we can typically do a shave FUE, we can do as many as 3,000 to 3,500 grafts in a single day. With a no-shave, we can usually get no more than 2,500 FUE grafts in a single day. It is somewhat more expensive, but it allows my patients to basically be presentable as soon as the very next day without one of those telltale signs of having their head shaved, which is a big advantage for a lot of my patients. Finally, I offer a little bit of a hybrid between no shave and partial shave, where if patient's hair is long enough, at least half an inch long, I do narrow little bands, and with those narrow little bands is from where we harvest the grafts. Now realize that's different than doing a no shave. No shave, the hairs are spread out throughout the entire scalp. In any case, because we're using such small punches, almost nearly all my patients, and you can see this on my website and patient videos, there's really no sign that any FUE work was done.